Hey guys, it's Willow. Today we're doing something a little different. I am here with a Q&A question and answer video for you, my viewers, to thank you for helping me to reach 2,000 subscribers. I am so excited and I just cannot thank you enough for all of your support. It means the world to me. Because of you, I'm able to continue making Collect All Pets videos. So I want to take a moment to thank my YouTube community and my Discord communities. Thank you all for your positivity, for your compliments, and for just coming along with me on this journey. And to the staff of my Discord, I want to thank you all for your commitment and for your assistance and for helping me to make it a place that is fun and safe and enjoyable for all of our members. So let's get started here on this Q&A video. You all gave me some really great, insightful questions and some fun questions too. I can't wait to get started and let you know a little bit more about me, about Willow, and who I am and what Collect All Pets means to me and about my journey, about my YouTube channel. So I got a lot to talk about. You gave me some really great questions. All right, so let's get started with our first question here. How long have you been playing CAP for? So at the time of this recording, I have been playing Collect All Pets for 2 years and 4 months. With the exception of a very brief break in December of 2022, I have been playing this game basically 24/7 for over 2 years. These next two questions are very similar, so I'm going to kind of answer them together. When and how did you start playing the game? How did you find out about Collect All Pets, and what motivated you to keep playing? I started playing Collect All Pets in the summer of 2022. It was June 18th, which was the day that I tried the game. A family member had asked me to try Roblox with them, and I had never played Roblox before, but I created an account, I tried a few games, and when I tried Collect All Pets, honestly, once I started, I never left. I started playing on an iPad. Within 1 week, I had found the Discord group and I had bought an auto clicker. And my motivation for staying in the game for over 2 years started as really just purely motivation to advance, like personal motivation. And then it was motivated by doing well and being able to help others by boosting them. I eventually had my own server and a few different server families along the way. The game had stopped being updated at one point, and we didn't know if it would ever be updated again. So eventually, I started to climb the pet score leaderboard, and then my motivation really became to see how high I could go on the pet score leaderboard. I was also working on multiple accounts at the time. The people I played with then and now are like family to me. So the game has always been more than a game for me. I would rebirth 100 to 200 times a day to gain pet score, and 300 or more on the weekends when I could. I really like having something to work towards. I need to have a goal, and since the game was no longer being updated, a leaderboard is what I had to work towards. So when the leaderboards were frozen on July 31st, 2024, I had placed 9th on the pet score leaderboard, and that was the highest on any of the leaderboards that I ended up stopping at. Do you think you will ever get bored of it? I mean, it's a possibility. I would never rule that out. It is always possible that something else will come along that will grab my attention and slowly pull me away from CAP. But it's really hard to imagine that happening in the here and now when CAP is such a huge part of my life. Collect All Pets can be boring at times with the AFK and grinding, but when I find myself feeling stagnant in the game, that is usually when another Willow pops up. And in the past, when we didn't have anything to work on, there was always boosting and helping other players, which is definitely something that I enjoy doing. So let's get a little personal and talk about who I am, who Willow is, and a couple of you had given me some questions, and I did select the ones that I felt comfortable answering. So Willow is not my real name, but in many ways, I am Willow and she is me. This next question, I am really glad that someone asked it because I think it's important for you to know, since Willow is not my real name, why I chose that name for myself. So the question is, Willow, why did you pick the name Willow? Does it have a special meaning? When I first signed up for Roblox, I really had no idea what to pick for a name. Willow came from the name I always gave myself when I was a child and played with friends. We would all pick pretend names, and I was always Willow. The Roblox name I chose was Magic Willow, and later I shortened it to just Willow. The name Willow can mean resilience and vitality. In a spiritual way, the name Willow is rooted in its association to the willow tree. It's a symbol of intuition, flexibility, growth, and harmony. And the willow tree gives a sense of hope, belonging, and safety. So I think both in real life and in the game, myself as Willow embodies all of these characteristics, and they really are an accurate portrayal of who I really am. What country are you from? Do you speak multiple languages? If so, which ones? I am from the United States of America, and I do not speak multiple languages. However, I do know some of the German language, as my ancestry is German, but I cannot by any means speak it fluently. I just had taken some German when I was in school, so I do know some words, some sentences, but I wouldn't be able to hold a conversation with anyone in that language. What state do you live in? I am from the eastern side of the country. I live in the state of Pennsylvania. What do you do as a job? Do you have a job, or is Collect All Pets your full-time job? LOL. I love this question. So Collect All Pets does very much feel like a full-time job sometimes, especially having a YouTube channel, a Discord community, 7 Willow accounts, but honestly, I wouldn't change any of it. I love the game. I love creating content about the game, and having my own Discord community has been so incredible to see my vision come to life of having a place where we can discuss Collect All Pets and celebrate our achievements, and just, ask each other for help and advice as needed. So I believe that we have built a good, strong, and safe place for those that want to be there. But as far as having a full-time job, yes, I do leave the house to go to a full-time job Monday through Friday, and I am a supervisor for an internet provider company. Do you have any pets in real life? Yes, I do. I have 3 cats. They are named Muffin, Leo, and Phineas. And the 2 of them, the 2 boys, are brothers. And the other one I brought in from the outside one winter when it was very cold. Had her checked out and she was healthy. So she ended up just becoming part of the group here. And so cats are probably my favorite pet. I do also like dogs, but I tend to be a cat person overall. Favorite food we need to know. So it just so happens that I am a vegetarian. However, I still eat dairy and egg. So I'm gonna say probably any type of pasta is my favorite food. I also cannot live without chocolate, coffee, and cheese. If you could pick your last meal, what would you choose to have? Wow, okay. Well, I would probably have dessert first, which means I'm either having tiramisu or pumpkin pie. Both of those are my favorites. And for my last meal, I would probably choose something like fettuccine alfredo with broccoli or just spaghetti because, you can't go wrong with spaghetti. Willow, which of your 5 alt accounts do you prefer? That is a really hard question for me to answer. It would be like trying to pick a favorite family member. I have gotten a few comments on YouTube in the past where viewers have picked up on me calling my alt accounts she instead of referring to them as me. I 100% identify as my main account as Willow. The alts, I think of them kind of like her younger sisters, and they're all very special to me because I designed them and I worked hard on all of them. If I had to choose a favorite, I would probably go with Willow too. She is now my strongest of my accounts since I ascended on my main, and with a few of my other accounts, Willow 2 has really carried me and my friends through the beginning of our first ascension. And she also happens to be purple, which is my favorite color. What inspired Willow's look, and did you ever think Willow would become an icon in the Cap world? My look was inspired partially by me in real life and partially just by picking items that I knew I wanted her avatar to include and then finding the right pieces that I felt went well together and looked good in my eyes. I knew that her main color was always going to be black and that she would have blue eyes. The red hair just kind of happened because it was a nice offset to all of the black. I knew she would have wings and a crown or a tiara to complete the look. So Willow's color pattern became black and red. The idea to model my first 3 alt accounts after her came from Willow's wings. They were offered in various colors, so I decided to make my alts all look similar, but each with a different accent color. I truthfully had always wanted Willow to be known in the community for her willingness to help boost others, and of course for potentially being on the leaderboards. I oftentimes participated in boost events through the main Cap Discord, where I was always eager and willing to help others. But I don't think I ever imagined that I would rise to this level where I have a YouTube channel and I'm recognized, if I go into public servers and people are excited to see me and they want to get a screenshot with me. And that definitely is something I never expected. And, I'm just out there doing my best in this game that I love. And I really just enjoy the creative process of making videos. And I'm really glad that I've heard from a lot of viewers that they're inspired by me. And that is really something that touches my heart and makes me happy and brings me joy that I can, inspire people to want to start playing this game or to continue playing this game. That truly means so much to me. How many alts do you have and plan to have in the future, and why? I currently have 6 alternate accounts, so with my main, I have 7 active accounts at this time. I have plans for at least one more, Willow 8, but ultimately I would love to see as many as 12 Willows so that I could fill an entire cap server. I think that would be really cool, and it's kind of a ongoing joke between me and my friends and my community that it would be funny to see an entire server of Willow, and it's very possible that that will happen one day. It's just a question of if I would have the devices to maintain them all. But as you'll see later in the video, I do have a brand new PC, so it's definitely a possibility. I won't rule that out. So the reason I have so many alts is that in the past I had made alternate accounts when I got bored and felt like having more active play. The start of the game is much more active than the middle, and later on, especially now that we have Ascension, it has become about making alts for the purpose of boosting myself and others who are ascending. So if I do make more Willows, most likely at this point in the game, it's going to be so that I can keep boosting myself and others as more of my accounts potentially ascend, or it'll just be so that I can help others. What is your future plan for your alts? Will any of them ascend, or will they just work as boosters? I am thinking about ascending one of my alternate accounts probably after the holidays, because I would have some time off of work, and also over the winter my schedule gets a lot less busy. So I've been considering two paths. I think it really depends on if Willow 4 and Willow 5 can be ready to be full-time boosters by then. So if they can, then I might ascend Willow 2, but I haven't fully committed to that decision yet. I may also go a different direction and keep Willow 2 as a booster and instead ascend Willow 4. How to grow 3 alts like me. So creating multiple accounts for Collect All Pets, the first important thing is to work hard on your main account. Make sure that you build a good, strong foundation. Don't try to skip ahead. Just follow the collector score. It basically guides you through the game. And once you get past the first part of the game, which I would consider up to like 10k pet score, at that point, your main usually will start to be more AFK, and that might be a good time for you to start an alternate account. Having more than one account means needing multiple devices, and if you're able to use auto clickers on those devices, you can grow your accounts even faster because you can let them play overnight. Playing the game from start to what I would consider finish, which is your 240 shiny giants, it's going to take you months. So it's very common that people do start alternate accounts. If they're really in it for the long haul and they're going to see it all the way through. And a good reason to start an alt is because once you get to the mine and you start to get giants, you have the potential to boost your alternate account. So to grow alts, it's basically about having multiple devices, having the means to be able to play multiple accounts at once. And it's all really about boosting yourself or playing in a server where other people can boost you. If you start an alternate account in a public server, it's going to take you much longer because you're not going to have that gold advantage. One thing I get asked a lot is, how do I play so many different accounts at one time? And up until a couple weeks ago, I was working with one laptop and many iPads to play all of my accounts. But recently, I was very fortunate to be able to get a brand new gaming PC. It's something that I had wanted for a very long time, and because of it, I am now able to play multiple accounts on one computer. which I usually play up to 4 accounts at a time. The PC that I have can handle probably up to 6, but I, as a precaution, usually don't push it past 4. And then I still use my iPads and laptop for other accounts and can have my 7 Willows going 24 hours a day, all at the same time. And in able to make this work, I need to have an auto clicker on the computer that will continuously loop for me and will keep all 4 screens active continuously throughout the day and night. And then on the iPads, I have physical devices that actually clip onto each of the iPads, and they mimic a finger press and they keep those accounts active. So running multiple accounts is a lot of work, it's a lot of dedication, and it's a lot of moving things around, keeping things charged. I have multiple USB charging stations that I plug the iPads and the auto clickers into. It's making sure that you have multiple electricity outlets so that you're not overloading everything. So it's been this whole gradual growing operation over the past 2 years that as I increase my number of accounts, I've also increased my number of devices. But I'm very fortunate that I have the means to do this, and it just really makes me very happy to have all of these accounts. And I know that I mentioned I most likely will be adding at least one more, but we'll see what happens here in the future. What inspired you to start YouTube, and which direction do you see your channel going? Focusing on cap only or eventually expanding to other games? So let's talk about why I'm here and why I have created this YouTube channel for Willow and for Collect All Pets. Just so you know, this is not my first YouTube channel. I did have another channel a few years ago that was not a gaming channel. And it was not super successful as it was in a very competitive genre, but I really enjoyed the creative process and I missed it. The mine update had come along in December of 2023. Everything was going really well as far as my progress and things like that. So it was in February, which is not a very busy time of the year for me, that I decided one day I was just going to make a Collect All Pets video and post it on YouTube. It was a very spontaneous decision. I had no prior thoughts about having a channel for Willow or Collect All Pets, but like I said, I just really missed that creative process and thought, you know what, let me just make a fun video. I'm gonna make this random video of me maxing the damage wall and set it to music and post it for fun. And I really had no expectations at that point. I just wanted to make videos again. Why did you pick to upload videos on Collect All Pets? The reason I chose Cap as my subject for making videos again is that it was really fun visually with my avatar and the pets. Also, the game had recently been updated after a long time of no updates, so the game was new again. It was exciting. People were returning to the game after leaving for many, many months, so I just felt like it was a great time to put out a video with some recent, fresh content, and I had no expectations, but I just wanted to create something again. So I posted my first video on February 18th, 2024, and it was just me maxing the damage wall in the meadow. My first couple videos were really just me doing impressive things set to music, and people were watching and they were excited about it. The funny thing is that I never intended to talk in my videos. but there was a demand for it. Viewers were asking me to make more videos and to show my stats. So I took the plunge and I started recording speaking videos as well. Not really sure how I would be received. When viewers started saying my videos were helping them and that I was inspiring them, I realized that I had found my direction for this channel, and it was to help, as it always had been inside the game as well. I had a few moments that truly touched my heart where viewers told me that they started playing because of me, or that they came back to the game because of me. I can't describe what that means to me. I have never considered myself a gamer. I am more of a collect all pets enthusiast. As the weeks went by and the months went by, everyone was so supportive and excited about my videos, and it just really gave me confidence and motivated me to keep going. On April 19th, 2024, I reached 1,000 subscribers just 2 months after I posted that first video of me maxing the damage wall. It went so fast and far exceeded my expectations, and now here we are celebrating 2,000 subscribers. As for the direction of my channel, only time knows where it will lead. I work full-time, so it can be very challenging for me to find time to record, and also my editing process can take hours to days. So let me actually just show you a little bit about what editing looks like for me. So what you're seeing on the screen right now, this is what my editing basically looks like. You can see that you have your video clips here, and this first part right here, this is just the entire intro of what you saw at the beginning of this video. So you see how you have to piece all of the components together, add any special effects, and then the green at the bottom here is the music. So I have to often cut pieces of the video to make them flow. You know, if I mess up my wording, or if I say something and I want to re-say it in the video a different way, I have to cut that first part out and then, you know, proceed from there. So it is a lot of work. I don't just record a video in one shot and immediately go and post it to YouTube. It is so much more than that. It's a lot of creative process and idea that needs to be executed. For me, my videos are a feeling, so the music kind of sets the tone of how I want that video to feel to the viewer, and I think over time I've gotten even more comfortable in my video creation, so it takes me sometimes hours to days to edit a full video for you and post it onto YouTube. So just kind of wanted to give you that little bit of a behind the scenes look at what my videos specifically look like in the editing process. But again, as for the direction of my channel, it really depends on with my alts and with Ascension. You know, it leaves a lot of room for potential cap content. So collect all pets will remain my main focus for the time being, but I absolutely would love to start trying other games and see where it goes. Of course, I'm always welcome to suggestions, but you know, just again, understand that my schedule right now is very busy and I do work full time. So the time restraint is a lot of the factor in me being able to branch out and do other things for my channel. Will you start streaming on your channel, especially when there's a game that you are playing that has a big update? So as far as streaming or live streaming, it's not really been something that has ever been a part of my channel in a big way. I had for some time been streaming through my Discord, and I would really like to get back to doing that, where I'm just sharing my screen and chatting with others. But live streaming honestly is not really my style. My style is more collecting my thoughts, then recording the information, and then piecing those parts together to create a video. That is more the style that I am comfortable with. Another reason that I'm not sure that I will ever live stream, especially on big updates, is that if I'm live streaming, I can't be really recording myself to go back and then make that into an update video like the ones that I'm used to making. Just with my personality and who I am and what I'm comfortable with, if there's going to be a big update, I am most likely going to, record that in pieces as I move through the update and then go back later and edit and create a video. Now, I will never rule anything out because you never know what the future is going to bring. And I know that a lot of my viewers have asked for me to live stream, so I may get back there. I did actually try one live stream once, and it was a little rough to start because I didn't have any prior experience with it, but who knows? It definitely is something that I won't rule out and that I might give another try in the future. What is your most favorite pet and why? Out of all 240 pets, which one is your favorite, cutest? So let me start with the cutest. I absolutely adore the hamsters, all of them. I think they are so cute and funny to watch the way they do their little bob from side to side. My other favorite pet is the angry dino. I really like this pet because of what he looks like when he attacks the crystals. I think it is so cute and funny. He's just so angry about it. Let's see if we can catch him. So honestly, I could watch him being angry at these crystals for hours. I just think he is so cute and funny to watch. My other favorite pet is shiny giant Klaus. I, of course, am drawn to the colors because his main colors are black and red. Oftentimes you would see me with a full team of shiny giant Klaus. That was kind of like my go-to pet. And of course I'm right now borrowing Willow 2's pets because I'm not back to the mythical egg yet in the mine, but definitely love this guy. What was the hardest part in your cap journey? What was the most exciting part in your cap journey? The hardest part in my cap journey was letting go of my pet score leaderboard progress when the mine update came along. It was something that I worked really hard on to climb that leaderboard and to place in the top 10. I was rebirthing 100 to 200 times a day to try to maintain my position or to pass, and to climb to a higher number on that leaderboard. That was just, like I had said earlier in the video, I like to have a goal. I like to have something to work towards, and I worked really hard on that. So back during the times when there was no hope of an update, there was basically two different paths that most players decided to follow. Some worked on metallics, and others worked on pet score, shiny, and damage. I had ended up getting to the top 10 on the pet score leaderboard right before the mine update dropped, and with that update came the ability to generate the ascended egg. So there was no need to rebirth anymore for pet score, because you were making more by generating ascended. Everything changed, including how the game worked, and I had to let go of my leaderboard progress so that I could move forward with the mine update. I had started with around 800 out of my 1200 metallics, so I had a lot of catching up to do at the start of that update. And after I had worked my way through the mine update and completed those 1200 metallics in the process, I was able to go back to generating ascended full time, and I was able to climb back up the pet score leaderboard and place at number 9 when the leaderboards were frozen in July of 2024. The hardest part of my cap journey was also one of the most exciting parts. The mine update dropped in December of 2023. Prior to that, the players that stayed in the game had no idea if the game would ever be updated again. Many of our friends left the game out of boredom or for other reasons, but when Tuzoos announced that there would finally be an update, it was the most exciting feeling I had felt in Collect All Pets up to that point. I couldn't wait to spend my stones and my gold and have active gameplay again. The other two most exciting moments of my cap journey was first when Tuzoos, the game developer, very kindly agreed to visit my server and appear in one of my YouTube videos. It was such a huge honor to meet him and get to ask him a few questions and just hang out with him for an hour in my server with my friends. And we chatted about the game, and the good old times when the game first started and things like that. And it was just really an amazing feeling to meet the person that had created this game that I love so much and that has been such a huge part of my life. And then finally, of course, when I made it to number 1 on the collector score leaderboard was one of the most exciting and biggest moments of my cap journey. Getting to see myself on that podium, I can't put into words what that felt like. After wishing and hoping to see that one day, that moment was extremely special and unforgettable. I found myself getting quite emotional over it, which may seem silly to some people, but I really have been in this game for over 2 years of my life and have worked really hard at it. And so it was just really a huge moment in my cap journey for me to see myself up there on that podium. What is your favorite thing about Collect All Pets? My favorite thing about Collect All Pets is the anticipation of waiting for a shiny pet or a metallic or a giant and seeing them pop up on the screen. I have played this game over and over and over again with all of my alts and now with Ascension, and seeing that first shiny or that first metallic or that first giant pop up is seriously exciting every single time. My other favorite thing about Cap is the people. Many of the people that I have played with, I now consider friends, and some are even like family to me. Not everyone understands that it's more than just a game, but these people do. And they were there with me for every achievement along the way, lifting me up, celebrating with me, cheering me on. The night before we ascended was an emotional night for me. 2 years of progress was going to be reset the next day. So at one point, we all just kind of came together and we stopped mining. We just came together as a family and we danced and we laughed and we reminisced, and it just kind of calmed my nerves a little bit, and they've always been there for me. So your time in this game can be whatever you want it to be. Maybe it's just something fun you play at night after a day at school or a day at work. For me, it's always been about helping others, celebrating my achievements with each other, and watching each other grow in the game. If you were given a chance to design a pet or feature in Collect All Pets, what would it be and why? When Tuzoos came to my server to visit, we were talking about super crystals and how we missed them, and someone in my server mentioned about having super crystals again, but they would give out mythic stones when destroyed instead of gold. And I had this mental image fly into my head of this volcano erupting and spitting out mythic stones, and everyone in the server running to collect them. And so if I had the chance to design something, I would design a new area with new scenery that featured this volcano, and it would give out a burst of mythic stones maybe once a day, and you could choose when to make it erupt. So it would be like the 2x shiny luck or 2x met luck boosts, where you would have to activate it before the clock runs out each day, or you would lose that day's opportunity. If there were to be another major update in CAP, what would you like it to be? I would definitely like to see a new area. I think that would be fun. It's always exciting when you have a new area to explore. And maybe the area could have the volcano that I mentioned previously. I would like to see something where the sky is nighttime instead of daytime. It could have some sort of fire element or some torches, and in that area you could earn mythic stones from the volcano, maybe add an additional boost of some kind, like additional multipliers. It could be like 2x giant luck boost station or something like that. And in addition to that, I would also like to see some type of giant discovery luck added to the lab. So right now we have discovery luck, which helps with your regular pets, and we have metallic discovery luck, but I think it would be interesting to have giant discovery luck. What do you think is the most challenging part of the game? The most challenging part of the game by far is having patience. Everything takes time. Also, the game is very mathematical, which is not my strong point. Those who are math-minded can use that to their advantage as they better understand things like the multipliers and certain statistics and how things kind of work together. But for me, as someone who is not very strong in that area, I definitely play a more instinctive game than a calculated game. As far as gameplay itself, the hardest section of the game is mining for giants. There is so much prep work involved to get to the point where you can even start mining for common giants. You need stones for upgrades. You need titaniums. So there is this constant decision making back and forth between collecting stones or hunting metallics. Do you think metallic hunting is harder than giant hunting? If we are strictly looking at present-day CAP and not pre-update versions of CAP, then I think giant hunting is much harder than metallics. With the addition of the lab and things like metallic discovery luck, the increased generation with the crank and the runes wall, we have so many new features that have increased the rate at which we can now get metallics. Giant hunting is harder in my opinion because you need gold for it, which is a slower progression to build up over time, and also your mine upgrades, which require mythic stones and get expensive very quickly. What was your most annoying, hated part about CAP? The most annoying part is how much of the game needs to be purchased with mythic stones and how the grind for those stones takes such a long time. If you consider that all of the rebirth cave, the lab, clone luck, all of the machines, your generation speed, your calcify luck, your metallic luck, all of these upgrades are going to take these mythic stones. The crank, of course, speeds up this process, but it takes you away from mining. Prior to the introduction of the crank, you still had to choose between going for metallics or going for stones, but you could be mining while you were doing either of those things. Now, for the most part, the crank is going to be your better, faster choice for getting stones until you're much further along in the mine. So when you're standing here at the crank and you're generating prodigious or ascended for stones, there's no collecting of pets, metallic or giant, and it just feels very unexciting to me. Willow, if you could change one aspect of the game, what would it be? I thought about this question a long time. There isn't much that I would change about the game. I like the progression and how everything was designed from the beginning to work together. I think Two Zoos has really done a good job of making a game that builds progressively and all the pieces seem to fit together well. One thing I would change if given the chance is the placement of certain things in the Rebirth Cave. As the game has evolved over time, there are certain things that have become more important or less important. For example, this right here, this is extended discovery luck. Now, prior to the ability of generating eggs, and prior to the mine update and being able to generate the ascended egg, rebirthing was far more important, and therefore things like Gold Hoarder and extended discovery luck were more important. But now I see a lot of players who really don't spend a lot of time on rebirthing after they reach that 10k pet score. There's really no reason for it unless they're working on the badge for egg luck. After I ascended the first time and I got back to the mine, I found myself postponing the purchasing of Fossil Record because I just didn't want to spend the 250,000 stones on this extended metallic discovery luck when it wasn't going to be useful to me in any way at that point. So I would remove extended discovery luck completely from the Rebirth Cave, and I would probably move Gold Hoarder closer, someplace over here, and make it a little bit less expensive. Which Collect All Pets stage was the most challenging, and which did you enjoy the most? The most challenging stage of Collect All Pets was the entire first year. When I first started playing, we didn't have boosters. We were all basically on a level playing field. Everything took a lot of time. Rebirths took forever. Getting your first and second metallics took forever. You know, we didn't have the lab. We didn't have the crank machine. Clones didn't exist. Everything was just at a much slower pace. If you think your progress is slow now, it was a much slower pace back then. And the stage of the game that I enjoyed the most was the mine. I was on vacation when the mine update was announced in 2023, and when I heard about it, I literally had to sit down. I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. Those of us that had stayed in the game, we really just lost hope that there would ever be another update. But we stayed because we loved it. And we were helping new players and we were boosting. So when I found out the game was being updated, the thought of being able to spend my gold and stones that I had saved up was so exciting. The idea of having goals and active gameplay again was amazing. So the stage I enjoyed the most was definitely mining for giants. It was new, it was exciting, and I had a big advantage when the mine started because I had so much gold and stones saved up and my base damage and pet score were very high. What's your stance in hindsight on the importance of focusing on exotic crystal score before ascension? Would your advice to a player that's 0.5 collector score or below be different than someone who may already be at 0.6 collector score or higher at this point? So I may not be the best person to answer this question. I have never focused on exotic crystals because I didn't have to. I really have just let them happen naturally through the progression of the game. And I was a bit spoiled that way with Willow because of the lengthy span of time where the game was dormant and there was no updates and I had no choice but to grind for exotic crystals. And with my alts, I can honestly say that I haven't prioritized exotic crystals. But again, I didn't have to because I had alts boosting alts. So, you know, take for example Willow 2 and Willow 3. They're both very powerful with full shiny giant teams and producing a lot of exotic crystals. So my alternate accounts were naturally gaining a lot of exotic crystals because of playing with those accounts that were producing so many of them. So you're definitely going to get different opinions on this question, but my opinion is that if you're in the mine with a full giant team, you should just keep your pets in the mine and focus on your giant and shiny giant index. Mining for giants is very expensive, and you're going to need that gold to carry you through as quickly as possible. But if you want to take a day here and there and do an exo grind with your server where everyone puts their giants in the grotto or the mountain, that's a good plan, and you should do that from time to time to get your badges. But I don't feel that anyone should ever take on exotic crystals as an individual player. The amount that you would earn by yourself in a zone is not going to be game changing, and I feel that your pets would benefit you far more by earning you gold. So yes, exotic crystals is a gold multiplier, but it's an accumulation coin boost, and you only keep 5% of your exotic crystal score when you ascend. If I knew prior to the mine update or prior to Ascension how exotic crystals would work into the game later on, it still wouldn't have persuaded me to play any differently. If you could redo your first Ascension, what would you do differently, if anything? It is very natural for people to say, had I known this, I would have done this instead. And I think I made good choices with the egg luck pet. It has multi-purposes like helping with rebirthing, and then later with generation and creating more stones or shiny score. But if I could go back and change it, I may have chosen the generation pet instead, because I feel like it would have helped speed up stone production and also completing the metallic index faster. I also think I would have put all 10 points into metallic instead of a 50-50 split between metallic and shiny. What will you do when you get all the ascensions? I truly don't see my main Willow ever leaving Cap. I think she will live there forever in some way. I definitely plan to finish all the 24 ascensions that are going to get me all of these exotic pets that you see here behind me. But the game could truly go on for a very long time for me, since I have so many accounts now at various stages of the game, and there's just always something for me to work on between all of those accounts. So also, we have all of these ascension badges to get, so there's always something for me to work on. And I'm pretty sure that, I'm going to keep going, and I'll probably be here in Collect All Pets for at least another couple years. What are you going to play after alongside Cap? Are you planning on playing other games? I used to play Pet Simulator X. I played it for a couple months occasionally, but I never got into it on the same level as I did Collect All Pets. And then recently, a couple friends were playing a new game called Pets Go. So I decided to check it out, and I enjoy it, but I run it mostly AFK alongside Cap on a non-Willow account. If the decision would be made for me to start making content about Pets Go or any other game, it would probably be done on an alternate Willow, not my main, or a completely new account. I do enjoy it, but it's really more of a pass the time game than it is, something that I'm going to devote years of my life to, like I have to Collect All Pets. And of course, as I mentioned before, I am definitely open to suggestions on if there are games that you think that I would enjoy or that I should try. Do you think the new players need something to keep grinding for? I see so many new players that quit after just a week. I think that new players that start the game knowing what to expect are going to stay longer than those who just happen to try it out and don't know what it eventually will become for them. So what I mean by that is, players that are in the main CAP Discord or that have watched videos about Collect All Pets on YouTube, they're going to know that their hard work at the start will eventually pay off as they progress through the different levels and start getting shiny pets and then metallics and then giants. I think a lot of the younger players join and then leave right away because the game is so slow at the start and it just doesn't hold their attention long enough for them to get to a point where they're seeing rewarding progress. And I also think that that is why this game appeals to a lot of adults in general, as they may have longer attention spans and a bit more patience. I believe that some of the recent updates, like the 15-minute shiny boost and also things like the lab, are really useful additions for newer players to help them at the start of the game and make things go a little bit faster for them. So I think if they're able to rebirth faster and get shinies faster, that it's going to motivate them more to stay in the game longer. What's the best advice you can give to players that are just starting to rebirth and progress in the rebirth cave? When it comes to rebirthing, you're going to get two different pieces of advice. Those that think you should rebirth and collect as many stones as you can before going to the next one, which means you're going to get a lot of upgrades before you go around again. And then you have those that feel that you should just keep rebirthing ASAP once you reach the 240 pets, just keep going around as fast as you can. The way I see it is with the addition of the lab and the ability to be boosted by other players, the rate at which you can rebirth should be faster than it was years or even months ago. And I am on team rebirth as soon as you can, because I feel like getting to that 10k pet score as quickly as possible is going to be beneficial so that you can buy things like automation and calcification. These two things are going to be so beneficial to you, and they're going to save you from having to fuse pets constantly, which is really useful, especially if you don't have fuse all. Also, once you can calcify pets, you no longer need to spend time rebirthing. So you would want to save at least 200 stones prior to reaching 10k pet score so that you can buy those two machines. And if you save up more, then you would need another 100 to get generation as well. And that is just going to buy the generation station. So that is not going to include all of these egg types that you see on the wall here or your increased generation speed. But as far as just rebirthing itself, I don't want to spend too much time talking about like what you should choose when you rebirth and stuff like that. But obviously, gold is going to be a priority. Magnet is going to be a priority. Egg luck. And definitely discovery luck. What tips and advice would you give to new players? So this advice kind of goes along with the rebirth question as well. The best advice that I can give to you is to remember that there are unlimited ways that you can play this game. There is no right or wrong way to play, and everything in the game needs to be completed at some point in time. So we're all going to end up at the same end result. It's your journey along the way, and the decisions that you make are your decisions. It's okay to ask for help or advice or to follow a guide, but the split-second decisions that you make are all you, and you should be making some of those decisions on your own because that's the fun of it. Celebrate every achievement because you worked hard for it. CAP has a great community. Make friends and work together. There is nothing more rewarding or inspiring than having a server full of people who care about your progress as much as you do and celebrate that with you. I want to thank you all for coming along with me on this journey. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I took a really long time making it because I wanted to make sure that I did a really good job for you, my viewers. and to show how appreciative I am of all of your support. You all asked some really, really great questions, and I just wanted to make sure that I took my time and really thought things through and answered them well for you. So we're gonna wrap things up here. I want to thank the members of my server. You all mean so much to me. You motivate me every day. You keep me going. You give me strength, not just in the game, but in my life as well. And thank you to the members of my Discord, and of course to you out there on YouTube who are watching this video. It has been a little while since I've given you a Willow update, so now that I have completed this video finally, I know you've all been waiting for it. We're going to get back into the update content and show you what's going on with the alts and with Willow. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. I will see you all in the next video.